Today is the day that we get GNUT. With this fusion, it's the first time that accounts are going to be having 3 tokens and can choose to change out their fusion champion. That means we can put a little GNUT right on in there. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. There's probably better options for what I need to accomplish in my raid journey here. GNUT is a very good PvE champion, but most of my PvE stuff is set with either Titus teams, Marius teams, or just plain old brute force. So it's not necessarily that we need GNUT, it's more of a principle thing that we've been after this guy since I've returned to raid. There's a lot of champions that would probably do a lot of great things like Sir Nick, Lady Noelle, Torment. Like these would be all great champions as I'm really arena focused anymore. I mean, even like Mad Hatter would be good for PvE things. Sanguine Maria, I kind of regret not doing that fusion. A lot of champions in here that I wouldn't mind having, but there's the principle of this whole thing that we've been after GNUT since I came back to Raid Shadow Legends, and today we are changing our fusion and we are officially using GNUT. That's right, we're going for it. We're doing it right now. We're not even waiting, we're not delaying. Guys, like, subscribe, all those great things, notifications, you know the deal. You know the deal, because right now we are going to fuse and we are going to get our GNUT. Here we go. Here it comes. Let's go, boys. Now, honestly, I feel a lot of people are probably going to be going for this champion, so I felt like it's a great time to go ahead and get this fusion done and do a build for him to show you guys what he's all about. So if you don't know what GNUT does, here's what he does. When he counterattacks, he deals 100% of the damage instead of 75%. He's got accuracy in dungeons. He attacks 3 times on his A1, which makes him really great in a lot of places, especially like the Fire Knight. Each hit has an 80% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. If the target's turn meter is not decreased, each hit has an 80% chance of placing freeze debuff on the target for 1 turn instead. Again, hard counter to Fire Knight hard, right? Like that's a hard counter. Attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing decreased attack and a weaken for 2 turns. Also places counter attack on him for 2 turns. AoE, just smacking. Attacks 1 enemy 3 times. Each hit decreases the target's defense by 3% up to 30% and heals him. And it goes on enemy max HP. So like he could just smack and deal so much damage. Like he opens up a lot of possibilities just to get dungeons done faster. A lot of boss options. If you're not running Titus teams, like GNUT is going to be the man. But not only like do we have GNUT, but we also have a 6-star soul for him. So I need to get him up and we need to get him upgraded. And we're going to do that now. I'm going to do all that. We're going to get him upgraded. We'll do all that kind of fantastic stuff. But before we do that, let's do the spiel. You guys know the spiel, right? If I can find my man's Tormund? Nope, not Tormund. Thalin Foulbeard, different dwarf. We're all about the dwarfs today. Click the link down there in the description. You're going to get Thalin for free. He's a great champion. I mean, speaking of PvE champions, Thalin is just a beast. You start off for free with him after you create a brand new account, install the raid app, the player and play app, install raid. He'll be in here in your inbox. Then you'll also get champions as you level up to 10, 20, and 30. Then you can also get a free login champion. If you log in for 7 days, you'll get Valorant raid in here. And then you can actually get a soul for logging in for 14 days. You'll get a 2-star soul. And you can actually even increase that up to a 5-star soul, which is pretty nice. And then you can also come in here. You can put a promo code in. The promo code WRATH for Grand Oak Podrick is beautiful. I'd recommend it. So let me go ahead. Let me get GNUT up. Let me get a build on him and we'll show him off. We'll showcase a build. I'll give you guys a couple like easy builds and like more like really he's PvE. So PvE is not as hard to build as Arena in my opinion. So let me get that done. I'll be back in just a sec. All right, so we got a build made here. Let's start with the masteries because I actually went with a little bit of like hybrid masteries here. Just based on some research I did. So for me, I think Cycle of Violence makes the most sense to get. You have 30% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random skill by 1 turn. Our whole goal of him is to get this A3 hitting as many times as possible. My main goal for GNUT is probably going to be in the Hydra, one of my Hydra teams, because he's just a Hydra god. So we want to try to get this cooldown as much as possible. So that's why we're going to go with Cycle of Violence so that we have that 30% chance. Also, since he's a multi-hitter, Giant Slayer is what people use based on what I've seen. Now, we could have gone defense tree and gone with the counterattack, but I'm actually going to go support just to get a little bit more accuracy on things. But also Cycle of Magic, 5% chance of decrease in a cooldown, adds on to that, and then we'll go with a chance to extend with lasting gifts there. So that's kind of what I did with that. We're gonna put the blessing on in just a minute because I want to show like this as a basic build before we put the blessing on, because the blessing is gonna make his stats kind of crazy. I think we have skins for him. Okay, no, I was like I never bought a skin for him. I'm just going with the Talon for now, but I think that a Coronet could be actually really good. The damage increases by 1% each time they place a debuff, stacks up to 30%. But from what I've read is there is a cap on how much this A3 can do. So essentially we can get to 10% of like a Hydra head's max HP 3 times, so 30%. So it is capped. If we do need that, maybe we switch to a Coronet, but I think just a Talon is fine. And then with the ignore 3% defense there. As far as sets, I think like there's a lot of great sets we could actually use for him. I went with a 4-piece Merciless, so we can get 30% chance to decrease the skill cooldown. Again, we want that A3 going as much as possible. And then Relentless, just getting him more turns. 18% chance of getting extra turn in there. Now, I wouldn't even mind, and I was actually looking at Reflex, but if you look here, I don't even have 4 pieces of Reflex like to scrap together a set. Like these pieces actually aren't bad behind my big head here. Like we could have maybe made them work, but the one decent set of Reflex I have, I use for my Wixwell for Chimera, and I just don't want to mess with that if I'm being completely honest. And even if I do go into like the pieces that I have, like I could like steal Wixwells, but like even Wixwells is like just enough, and it's my Chimera team. I don't want to mess with that. I mean, it's flat HP. So I think like Relentless and Merciless is just gonna work fine. And I'm actually pretty happy with this. 4-piece Merciless, 4-piece Relentless. I think if you're early game, I think Relentless is gonna be just fine. Get him as many turns as possible. And then if you get the accessories that you could put him in some Merciless later, great. I mean, you could even go with a full-on 6-piece Merciless and get that 30 to 5% ignore defense if you want. But I just kind of like this little bit of a hybrid of the two sets here. Then I had to go with a Feral banner there. Here's what these are all looking like. I mean, that's a pretty beastly piece of Merciless, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like everything that we could ever ask for. Defense there, obviously we would optimally want that defense percent. I just don't have the things to reroll it. Wasn't really greedy because we got the double speed roll essentially with the Ascended one. Now on the boots, I could have went a couple different ways with boots here. I have these ones with the accuracy, and I kind of wanted to push these with the accuracy just to make sure we have enough accuracy. And I know we haven't put the blessing on, and if it feels like we have too much accuracy overkill, I may switch to, I think, these ones. Yeah, I think it was these ones that I might switch to, but we'll lose 12 speed. Maybe it was these ones. Okay, it was these ones. Yeah, these ones will give us 721 more defense. We just lose that 12 speed. I kind of want to go with that, but also like I just don't want to risk it with the accuracy. So that's kind of where I'm at with the build with him. Now I do only have 4 books for him, so I wanted to wait and roll it up with you guys. Hopefully we hit 3 into the A3. 1 into here. I mean, that would be great. But let's just roll them and let's see. Come on, A3. Oh, I think they all went A2. Oh, one of them went to the A1. That's okay though. We're fine with that because that actually gets us a higher chance at those debuffs. As I get more Lego books from Clan Boss and stuff, I'll throw them into him. Not overly worried about that. But here's what his stats are looking like here: 46,000, almost 47,000 hit points. Attack doesn't matter. 4,300 on the defense, 250 speed. 268 on the crit damage, 391 on the accuracy. But now, like, watch what happens when we come in here and we put this soul on him. This is gonna be insane. So we had the 6-star soul, and I've been holding on to this forever. It's the main reason I took him. Is like, I have the 6-star soul, right? I don't have many 6-star champions on my account. Now I have another one, yeah. So now we can go over here, we can check him out, and we can put a blessing on him. Now, from what I've seen, if you're not going Fire Knight, I guess Fire Knight, you're going to go Phantom Touch. If you're specifically using them for a Fire Knight hard, but just in general, aside from that, everyone, like the Soul Reap seems to be the move. But look at like some of these stats we're going to get here. So this is definitely going to boost him up and kind of make up for some of that difference. So we'll go ahead and we'll put Soul Reap on him. And now take a look at his stats. Almost 5,000 there, 300 on the crit damage, 265 on the speed, 466 on the accuracy, which should be plenty for any level Hydra, which, like I said, is going to be my main goal for using him. Alrighty, so let's see how something like this will do. We're gonna go Marius in the lead, actually. Thought about going Necmo in the lead, just to have the speed lead, but Marius in the lead for the defense, which obviously works with GNUT, and Marius hits hard. Necmo's gonna have turn meter boost in there. along with some decreased attack and speed and stuff. We got Mithralis, who's going to have the cleansing. She also has strengthen, the hex, along with poisons. Feral are res and block and buffs, and then Shamil's just Shamil. Shamil does positive things in there. We got him 6-star +1, just in some nice attack stuff. I don't have this set up like the only thing I really have set to like certain priority is just GNUT's A3. Mary's hitting hard right out the gate here. I just kind of want to get a feel for how this is going to run and how things are looking. If they're the block buffs on, I don't know how my reses are for the team, and I'm sure someone out there's gonna be like, oh, if you need a Hydra teams, why don't you just run a Titus team like you run everywhere else? I just can't get a Titus team to work for Hydra. Like, I can't get the numbers right, and I just haven't sat down and done it. So like the Titus teams take a lot of time just to get the fine tuning on the res and stuff. It really is a pain just to kind of make that work. Oh, do we not have a provoker on here? Ew, we just got cleansed out. I don't think that's the end of the world. I think like damage wise, we should be fine. Okay, yeah, I guess we could have ran like a provoker, maybe like risk or something. Although I think it could be okay. I mean, we should be just popping enough heads through here. It's not the end of the world, right? I don't know. We're resisting everything. Like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I guess I didn't think a provoker would probably be good. Although I kind of want to see, how this kind of just does on its own here. Let's free regroup here, and let's throw a quick battle in and just see. I almost feel like Shamil could maybe be removed for a provoker. Ooh, that died quick. Ew. Ugh. Okay, I don't like that at all. All right, so maybe we throw like Molly in here so we have revive and provoke in there. We'll see if this does any better. All right, we're getting further on the teams. I like that it like does that stop thing. Oh yeah, that's okay. Damage not so much. Where's he at? He's at 36 million. Is him not being booked hurting us that much? Man, he's 6-star though. Like, that feels like we should just be doing so much more. We might have to try a different team. Yeah, that's just, his damage is lacking though. Hold on, let me try another team here. All right, let's give this a go. I know we don't have a provoker in here. We got Ugo and Curse set, so we get the Hex. A lot of damage. Got Estrid in there for speed. We got survivability with Duchess. This should be, we'll see. I don't know. I might be a potato. We might have to just look at it even more. But yeah, okay, we get the survivability. Oh, okay. Mary is still our heavy hitter, but not actually Chrissy with the heavy hitter. Huh. I wonder how much his skills not being booked is really hurting us. I mean, I'm excited to have him. I mean, that's already some pretty big potential. I wonder. I want to run it again. Just don't judge me. I just want to see. I feel like his skills not being booked, especially that A3, is really holding us back a little bit. We hit 500 million. I mean, $500 million. I've never gotten that high. I know with Titus teams, like, we could do crazy numbers. I just can't get the Titus teams to work. So I think right now priority is get him booked, and that should help this number go up even more for sure. I think this is gonna be my team. We'll keep that result. I mean, definitely a lot of work, but I mean, an instant improvement there as far as the team goes, you know? We get a coalition event there. But definitely a champion I was looking forward to getting onto the account. There's definitely some PvE champions that I'd probably use a little bit more. He's just going to be in here for Hydra, and then if I ever get a Titus team to work, he might be my Fire Knight hard guy. I don't know. Sometimes the turtles don't do great. We'll see. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully this give you guys, it was more about build ideas for you guys. I think Relentless, 4-piece Merciless, all going to be great build ideas. I think its Talon's great, but a Coronet might even be better. We could have tried the Coronet, to be honest, but I definitely think like getting this booked is going to help a ton, because it's 5-turn, and then getting this booked obviously help a ton. Let me know, how are you guys building your nut? Let me know down there in the comment section.